Top 10 animals with surprising behaviors that leave us unbelievable. Welcome to Top 10 Animals with Surprising Behaviors that Leave Us Unbelievable. Have you ever imagined that in the diverse and fascinating world of animals, there exist species with extraordinary behaviors that defy belief? From wild creatures roaming in nature to adorable furry companions at home, the animal kingdom holds enchanting tales waiting for us to uncover. Why do hermit crabs borrow homes? What do those guñón fish rush onto the shore for? Is it true that Hawaiian garden eels stay in one spot for their entire lives? In this list, you'll witness animals unwittingly disguise themselves as other objects, display astonishing intelligence and skill, and perform heart-melting gestures that leave us in awe. Let's come together to listen and explore the captivating stories of animals, sometimes unusual but always an endless source of inspiration to discover the wondrous diversity of life on this planet. Make sure you're ready for an enthralling journey alongside us. Click that play button and let's embark on the adventure of top 10 animals with surprising behavior that leave us unbelievable. Number 1. Hermit crab and shell burrowing. Hermit crabs, also known as marine crabs, have a unique behavior related to burrowing and using the hard shells of other creatures to protect and move around in their marine habitat. The behavior of them mainly revolves around burrowing and utilizing hard shells to protect their bodies. Hermit crabs do not create their own shells. Instead, they search and select hard shells from other creatures, such as deceased marine snails or other shell-bearing animals. When a hermit crab grows larger or needs a bigger shell to continue its development, it abandons its old shell and searches for a new one to burrow. This behavior helps them keep their bodies safe and protected from predators and hazards in their marine environment. The shell burrowing behavior of hermit crabs is a fascinating example of how animals develop unique and intelligent survival strategies to thrive in the harsh environment of the ocean. Number 2. Fainting goats. Fainting goats exhibit an interesting and peculiar behavior that piques the curiosity of many. For farmers of those familiar with livestock, fainting goats is often a humorous term used to describe the behavior of goats when they encounter a sudden surprise. Some goats can become excessively frightened or feel threatened, leading to a state of anxiety and high stress. To protect themselves, their bodies can experience sudden jerking and loss of balance, causing them to faint. When they find themselves in this state, the central nervous system will impact the muscle tone, causing a sudden reduction that renders the goats temporarily paralyzed and immobile. They faint in a collapsed posture with their legs sticking up towards the sky. However, goats do not truly lose consciousness during this episode, hence they can wake up at any moment afterward. This jerking episode can last from 5 to 20 seconds. In cases where goats are minimally affected, they still have the ability to run away because shortly after the episode, they recover and move about normally. Number 3. Parasitic wasps. The desert golden mole has a very ugly appearance with large, rugged teeth, and to add to that, they're completely blind. However, they're famous for their unique ability to run backwards at an incredible speed, even in pitch-dark darkness. When faced with danger or feeling threatened, desert jerboas will run swiftly in one direction, then suddenly stop and reverse their direction entirely. This behavior creates a mesmerizing effect and confuses predators. Surprisingly, desert mole can execute these backflips with fast and precise movements, skillfully evading danger. The exact reason for this behavior is still unclear, but it may be that the backflips confuse the predators or other animals in pursuit, making the mole successfully escape. This is an intelligent and effective self-defense mechanism that the species has developed over time to survive in the harsh desert environment. Even more intriguing, each desert mole group also have a queen similar to certain species of bees. The mole queen is the only female responsible for carrying pregnancies and giving birth to the entire group. To maintain her reproductive dominance, she often runs around and pushes other females, instilling fear in them. Then she releases specific hormones that inhibit their ability to reproduce. The desert mole's behavior provides a fascinating glimpse into the adaptive strategies these creatures have developed to thrive in the challenging desert conditions. Number 4. Mantis eats mates. Mantises are a common name for over 2,400 species within the horsefly order. They inhabit various environments worldwide, ranging from temperate to tropical regions. Mantises are known for their lightning-fast predatory behavior, accompanied by sharp, thorn-like mouthparts. Moreover, when threatened, they adopt a sturdy defensive posture, making enemies hesitate and retreat in fear. However, the noteworthy behavior of mantises is not their peculiar appearance or their hunting and defensive stance. During the mating season, a highly unusual phenomenon occurs where male becomes prey to female mantises. The female slowly devours her mate during copulation. The consumption starts from the abdomen and may end at the head or vice versa. This behavior of males serving as food for females during mating is not compulsory, and it can provide a valuable source of nutrition for the mother horsefly during reproduction and nest protection. Nonetheless, if the female horsefly is fully satisfied during copulation, the likelihood of male horseflies being consumed becomes very low. Number 5. Egg-laying fish on the beach. In California, USA, there is a highly unusual species of small, silvery fish known as grunion, which exhibits a peculiar mating behavior. They often come out of the water to lay their eggs on the sand. This phenomenon occurs during high tides. If you happen to be at the right place and time, you may have the opportunity to witness thousands of grunion wriggling up the shore under the moonlight. Grunion fish can be found along the Pacific coast, from Point Abriojos in Mexico to Santa Barbara in California. They do not mitigate and carefully select a beach for reproduction from March to August each year. The entire breeding cycle is based on the tide. Grunion fish come ashore to lay eggs for 4 consecutive nights during the highest tide and a full moon. The breeding process occurs after the tide rises to its peak and continues for several hours. The female fish initiate the quote spawning ritual by wiggling their bodies and digging the lower part of their bodies into the sand until they're half buried. Then they lay their eggs in the sandy hole. Male fish swim around and coil themselves around the females, and their bodies intertwine. The males then fertilize the eggs. When the waves hit the shore, the grunion fish swim back to the water as far as possible. After spawning, most adult fish return to the ocean. However, this behavior also faces many challenges from fish-eating birds such as gulls, terns, etc. Nonetheless, the population of grunion fish remains stable to this day, and there is no risk of extinction. Number 6. Decoding cute sea otter behavior. For loving couples, tightly holding the hand of their beloved while sleeping is an indescribably wonderful feeling. So are you jealous when you learn that there is a creature that gets to enjoy that sensation every single day? The creature in question is the otters, a species found along the coastlines of the northern Pacific Ocean and the largest in the otter family. They boast the thickest fur in the animal kingdom, with 250,000 to 1 million hairs per inch on their skin. There are many fascinating things about these adorable creatures, but the one that stands out the most is their habit of holding hands while sleeping. But why do they do this? Otters often form herds when they eat, sleep, or rest. Such a herd can consist of 2 to even hundreds of otters gathered together by tightly holding hands. Moreover, when they are alone, otters use seaweed leaves to wrap around themselves to prevent drifting away from their habitat. In reality, this behavior of otters is a way to prevent them from being separated from the herd while they sleep. Hence, to protect themselves and their kind, they create these incredibly fascinating herds. Number 7. King Mouse. King mouse is a term used to describe a phenomenon where a group of mice become tightly entangled with their tails. This knot is so tight that no mouse in the ground can escape. These mice then grow together with their tails fused. This phenomenon mainly occurs in damp and dark places where mouse populations rapidly increase to an enormous number. Emma Burns, the curator of national sciences at the Otago Museum, said that king mouse is a natural phenomenon, not artificial. This phenomenon happens because the tails of some mice reflexively squeeze into each other. However, until now, there hasn't been a specific scientific explanation for this occurrence. Throughout history, this phenomenon has been a source of extreme fear. Many people believe that this phenomenon is an omen of an impending disaster, such as famine or disease outbreaks. As a result, mice entangled in this way are often killed immediately after discovery, or they are taken to temples for purification rituals. Today, specimens of king mouse are displayed in many museums worldwide. The Mauritanium Science Museum in Altenburg, Germany, preserves the largest collection of king mouse in the world, comprising 32 mice found in a grain mill in the village of Buchheim. Number 8. Asian Koel and the behavior of brood parasitism. Asian Koel, also known as Eudynamis calopacia, is a large cuckoo bird with a 45 cm long tail. In the natural world, every species is born, nurtured, and taught by their own parents. However, the life of Asian koels deviates from this norm. Instead of building nests, laying eggs, incubating and raising their own offspring like other birds, during the breeding season, Asian koels seek out the nests of other birds such as babblers, crows, mynas, and drongos and lay their eggs there. After a day or two, the host bird lays its first egg in the nest, and then the female Asian koel finds a way to lay her own egg in the same nest. The female koel first removes the host bird's egg and consumes it, nourishing herself for a few days. The koel's egg is almost the same size as the host bird's egg. Typically, the host bird doesn't recognize the difference and continues to incubate the eggs until they hatch. However, the story doesn't end there. What surprises scientists and people alike is that right from the moment the Asian koel chicks hatch, with their bright red color and closed eyes, they show their deceitful nature. They use the strength of their muscles, wings, and back to push out the helpless newly hatched chicks or the remaining unhatched eggs from the nest. They do this with the cunning intention of occupying the food source and raising the young chicks of the host bird. When the host bird parents return to the nest, the Asian koel chicks act like obedient children, appearing hungry and eagerly waiting for their parents to return with food. The host bird parents diligently continue to forage and search for food to feed the young koels as if they were their own. Once the Asian koel chicks grow their feathers and wings, they will fly away without showing any gratitude to the bird parents who raised them. This behavior is quite bizarre, deceitful, and cunning in the natural world. No one teaches them this behavior. They seem to instinctively know how to deceive the host bird. Thus, it is evident that the Asian koel is a bird species with distinct habits compared to other birds. This makes it a unique piece of the vibrant tapestry of survival struggles in the natural world. Number 9. Mass suicide in fish. Over the past decades, in various regions around the world, people have witnessed instances of mass suicide among species like dolphins, sharks, and particularly giant whales on beaches. Fishing communities in North and South America, South Ohio, the Tasmanian archipelago in Australia, and even Japan have experienced many cases where dozens of whales or dolphins deliberately seek death, usually between December and March each year. The largest mass suicide of these marine animals occurred on November 18, 1998, in the waters of New Zealand, where over 300 dolphins from the open sea beached themselves, lying exposed to the curious eyes of tourists. Oddly, when people tried to push them back into the water, they would just return to shore, seemingly determined to die. Under the scorching sun and the weight of their own bodies, the dolphins gradually became immobile. Unable to raise their chests to breathe, they suffocated after a short time. In September 2010, environmental workers found nearly 100 stranded beaked whales on the coast of the Spirit Gulf, 320 kilometers northwest of Auckland, New Zealand. Around 60 of the nearly 100 beached whales had already died. The staff of the New Zealand Department of Conservation subsequently called for hundreds of volunteers to help return the surviving whales to the sea. Number 10. Garden eel, always standing in one place for life. Off the coast of Oahu, there is an underwater prairie where hundreds of Hawaiian garden eels live. This creature has a timid nature and only appears in the waters of Hawaii. As they do not mitigate, they have limited activities, living at depths ranging from 11 to 53 meters and creating burrows in the sand. The males can reach a maximum length of nearly 60 centimeters. Hawaiian garden eels only come out when the sun rises and retreat into their burrows at sunset, making them diurnal creatures. They usually inhabit shallow waters, but larger burrows can be found in deeper waters. They extend a part of their body out of the burrow to eat drifting zooplankton. Strangely, Hawaiian garden eels spend their entire lives in one place to avoid the gaze of potential predators such as sharks that may appear at any time. When danger approaches, they quickly retreat back into their burrow. Thanks to strong ocean currents, Hawaiian garden eels are provided with food brought right to their mouths. Each individual remains still in their burrow throughout their life without moving. With their large eyes, Hawaiian garden eels can spot lurking tiger sharks. Whenever danger is sensed, the entire colony immediately withdraws into their burrows. However, the tiger sharks seem to pay little attention to the hundreds of delicate eels below. Once the danger passes, the eels resurface and continue their daily activities. The unusual behavior of animals and insects have made us feel like we are being transported into a magical world of nature. From their intelligence and creativity to their surprising actions, these animal species never cease to amaze us and astonish us. If you know of any other unusual behaviors of different animal species, please comment and share with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on the fascinating videos about the marvelous behaviors of various animal species. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploring the wonders of the natural world. See you in the next videos.